Come on, what's up, y'all? Let's join the movement, man. We're awakening 1 million, man. That's the movement right there. We join everybody movement, but when we going to join the movement that belong to us? Huh? I'm talking about us. When we going to join a real movement that's going to belong to us? I'm talking about healing. I'm talking about loving ourselves. I'm talking about loving each other. I'm talking about building community. I'm talking about getting back to what we had. I'm going to tell you something really important. You know, you hear a lot of people today, they always tell me, oh, this messed up, this messed up, this messed up. Back in the day, we didn't have nothing, but we had each other, so we had everything. And that's what Awakening 1 Million is about. It's about getting back to community. It's about getting back to loving each other. It's about getting back to loving yourself. It's about getting back to healing. It's just getting back to being us, man. I'm telling you, man. I be hearing people sometimes, oh, it's messed up. In the 80s, I'm telling you, man. You give me a block party, I ain't worried about what was in the refrigerator. Because I ate with Miss Brown. I ate with Miss Green. I had a platter from everywhere. Especially when the baked beans had that pepper on it. You see the pepper and they had them onions in there. And the baked beans hit the macaroni salad or the potato salad. You grab your 2-3 hot, you was happy. Everybody ate on the block. It's about community. Let's get back to that. And what we got to do, we got to come awake. We got to come alive. Awaken 1 million. Join the movement.
Greetings to all the men out there. You know, there's some pain that we have as men. And especially, not counting anybody else out, but as black men, there's some things we need to heal from. Otherwise, we're going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. Now is the time for healing. Healing from our job and occupational things, just healing. Some brothers have been down, had to go to prison. Healing is so important. Okay, so Iyanla and the Intervision Institute are going to have some things happening. Stay tuned. It's important that we heal. You get it? Brothers, we need healing just as well as the women. You can't blame them for everything. We have some pain, and now's the time to get it healed, okay? Stay tuned for more information. Deep bow.
Hi, I'm Party Fontaine. It's time to stop hiding our pain so we can heal. As men, we've been taught to push through, to never show weakness, and to ignore and dismiss our own needs. It's time for us to do different. Up From Here is a 9-week online process. So register now at iyanla.com. Like right now though, like don't wait, do it now.
Why does it support men to heal? For me, it's all about finding our way through our hearts to a deeper understanding of unconditional love. One benefit of healing is that it significantly reduces and can even eliminate all of that longing and suffering that we may be carrying around. Healing widens our understanding of who we are and who we belong to and what awesome things we have to offer the world. And when we start to tap into that, well, as my sons say, things will just hit different. There's so much more joy and laughter and ease and gratitude that we'll experience in our daily lives. It's time to move forward and to show up in the world as a different, better version of ourselves. And let's face it, we're worth it.
What I do have as a spiritual technician is an observation that I think I can offer to support healing, collective healing. And what I see is that our hair is on fire. As a culture, as a society, our hair is on fire. HAIR is an acronym for honesty, accountability, integrity, and responsibility. And wherever we look in this society, we see it's just being burned to the ground. We don't give people space to tell the truth, so they lie. The number one reason people lie is out of fear. So when they're confronted with something, challenged, accused, attacked about something, in fear, they're gonna lie. I am Iyanla. I had to learn the skills and tools required to make my relationships healthy, fulfilling, and loving. Welcome to the R Spot.
Greetings to all the men out there. You know, there's some pain that we have as men. And especially, not counting anybody else out, but as black men, there's some things we need to heal from. Otherwise, we're going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. Now is the time for healing. Healing from our job and occupational things, just healing. Some brothers have been down, had to go to prison. Healing is so important. Okay, so Iyanla and the Intervision Institute are going to have some things happen. Stay tuned. It's important that we heal. You get it? Brothers, we need healing just as well as the women. You can't blame them for everything. We have some pain, and now's the time to get it healed, okay? Stay tuned for more.
Moment to moment, vision, the journey, your process, allow it, be open, begin with one step, moment to moment, vision, the journey, your process.
Hi, I'm Party Fontaine. It's time to stop hiding our pain so we can heal. As men, we've been taught to push through, to never show weakness, and to ignore and dismiss our own needs. It's time for us to do different. Up From Here is a 9-week online process. So register now at iyanla.com. Like right now though, like don't wait, do it now.
Why does it support men to heal? For me, it's all about finding our way through our hearts to a deeper understanding of unconditional love. One benefit of healing is that it significantly reduces and can even eliminate all of that longing and suffering that we may be carrying around. Healing widens our understanding of who we are and who we belong to and what awesome things we have to offer the world. And when we start to tap into that, well, as my sons say, things will just hit different. There's so much more joy and laughter and ease and gratitude that we'll experience in our daily lives. It's time to move forward and to show up in the world as a different, better version of ourselves. And let's face it, we're worth it.
What I do have as a spiritual technician is an observation that I think I can offer to support healing, collective healing. And what I see is that our hair is on fire. As a culture, as a society, Our hair is on fire. HAIR is an acronym for honesty, accountability, integrity, and responsibility. And wherever we look in this society, we see it's just being burned to the ground. We don't give people space to tell the truth, so they lie. The number one reason people lie is out of fear. So when they're confronted with something, challenged, accused, attacked about something, in fear, they're going to lie.
Begin with one step, moment to moment, envision the journey, a process.
Good evening. Welcome to Up From Here, the pregame, the orientation. I want to welcome you from wherever you're tuning in from. I see Philly's in the house, Chicago, South Carolina, Florida, wherever you're calling in from, tuning in from. I want to welcome you this evening. And I want to invite you to just take a breath with me as I allude here a community, a safe space for us all to be in, so that the words that you hear, the words that I share, the heart that we all bring to this space will be on one accord. So just breathe with me for a moment. Inhale. Hold that breath. And exhale. Again, we inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. And we bring everything here into our heart as we begin this journey, this process together, allowing ourselves to be open and to begin with this one step. Welcome, Philly. Welcome, South Carolina. Lafayette to you. Welcome, London. Welcome, Nairobi. Welcome, Georgia. All of you that are here. I have a very specific intention tonight. My intention is, first of all, to make a powerful contribution to my mission this year, which is to awaken 1 million. Awaken 1 million minds, awaken 1 million hearts, to awaken Michigan, awaken Texas, awaken Brooklyn, awaken Baltimore, awaken Chicago, awaken Puerto Rico and Indiana, and anywhere else there's a mind and a heart that is ready to heal and serve in a greater way. My second intention for this evening is to share with you the intention, the process, the value of the work that we're doing with men, for men, entitled Up From Here. So you may be asking yourself, well, what is Up From Here? Okay, so I want to make sure that you know what it is. Yeah, what is Up From Here? That's the question on the floor. And Up From Here is a 9-week inner journey for men, a 9-week inner journey for men that will guide you towards mental clarity, emotional stability, spiritual balance, and support you in the development and bringing forth the qualities of leadership. Leadership. I'm not talking about the way it is defined in the world. I'm talking about the leadership of your soul. Up From Here is based on a book, Up From Here, Reclaiming the Male Spirit and a Guide to Transforming Emotions into Power and Freedom. This is a book that was published, that I wrote in 2002. That is 22 years ago. 22 years ago, I wrote a book that still has a message that is relevant and needed today even more. And this book, this particular book, was born from my love for a young man that I knew and watched grow up. And after his death, I was driving along one morning and I realized terror can kill you. Terror can kill you. And the young man that I'm talking about was murdered, shot in the head, point blank range, by another young man they called Terror. I want to read to you a section from Up From Here and allow it to serve as the foundation for what we're going to look at tonight. From the introduction in Up From Here. You would think that if you met a person whose name was Terror, you would run in another direction. If, on the other hand, you are a young man who feels somewhat lost, misplaced, and rather hopeless, it is understandable that you would allow terror into your life. In fact, it is understandable that terror would control your life. Against everyone's warnings and pleadings, this young man started keeping company with terror. And before long, terror had complete control of the young man's mind. He allowed terror to coerce him into doing things he knew he had no business doing. This young man wanted so much to belong, to have a place, to feel and be important, that he could not see that terror would soon stop him dead in his tracks. Men are often terrorized by the thoughts of failure, thoughts of not measuring up. In response to the terror they feel in their hearts, they will often brutalize themselves. They become driven. In some cases, men whose minds and hearts are filled with terror will brutalize those around them. In this case, terror had a face and two legs. Terror didn't just brutalize a beautiful young man I had watched grow up before my eyes. It robbed him of his life. Thinking about him on that morning on my way to work, I realized that I had left unfinished a work that I had begun in 1993. When I wrote a book called The Spirit of a Man, a vision of transformation for Black men and the women who love them. I wrote that book simply to say plainly what people had been unable or afraid to say. Men, God loves you. He loves each one of you, not because you're Black or because you're white or because you're Asian or because you're male or because you're straight or because you're gay. He loves you because you are made in his image and likeness. You are a part of God, source, creator, the architect of the universe. And because you don't always realize this, you are dying. And as you die, you take a vital piece of God's love and power and beauty with you. As a teacher, I just cannot allow this situation to continue to be unattended. I realized that Sunday morning on the bridge that I had to continue to write to you, all men, and to all the women in your lives, because you are continuing to die, not just on the battlefield of life, but inside, in your spirit. Men, the world needs your light. The world needs your life. Every woman and every child needs you also. Published in 2002. I want to define this word that I'm talking about, terror. The terror that will kill you. The terror that robs men of their spirit. The terror that prohibits men from living up to their full potential. Terror, as I'm using it here, is an extreme fear or a dread. It's an alarm, it's trepidation, and many boys and men are so terrified that they will not measure up to the false standards of society, that they become terrorists to themselves, within themselves. what I'm encouraging my brothers, my sons to know is that it is time to stop giving your power away to terror, to fear, to unworthiness. It is time to claim full responsibility for your life. And it is time to step up and be the leaders that you were created to be. One of my favorite books of all time was written by a dear brother friend of mine. His name is Dr. Naeem Akbar. He is one of the founding members of the National Association of Black Psychologists. And again, I'm speaking to all men. My references are to Black men because that's who I am. That's what I know. And that book that Dr. Naeem Akbar offered us was called Breaking the Chains and Images of Psychological Slavery. And in that book, he put down 3 phases or 3 aspects of manhood. Maleness, that means you're born with male parts. Boyhood, and that's the belief that everybody is here to serve you. And then manhood, understanding your responsibility to give, to serve, and to build a legacy. Build a legacy. And it may not end up on social media, but reading that book back in the 90s, it changed the way that I was raising my son, because I was psychologically chained to the image of myself. So I had a psychological chain to the way I expected him to be, my son, my husband. And the way I was looking at them and myself was totally dysfunctional. And at that time in the 90s, I didn't have the skills, the tools, the information that I needed to have another perspective. Well, 22 years later, I do. And I want to share that with you in this 9-week journey called Up From Here. So I want to share with you what that journey is going to look like, okay? We're going to explore some topics. Most of them will come out of Up From Here. Week 1, we're going to look at what does it mean to be a man? And I am not arrogant enough to tell a man what he needs to do. But what does it mean for you to be a man? Because the image and the chain of psychological slavery that so many men have is that the outside world has told them what they must do, and they have yet to determine how they choose to be in their being, in their body, in their community, and in the world. Week 2, we want to connect you back to the male spirit, not the male identity, not the male construct, but the male spirit within you. And it's masculine and it's male because you house a physical body. We're going to talk about the distinction between masculine, male, and man. We'll do that in our 9 weeks. Week 3, you're going to unlock your spiritual toolbox. Because the greatest detriment to all of us as humans, men, women, is that we simply were not given the tools that we need to navigate the time in which we are living. Everything is changing. What worked for us 10 years ago, it's not going to get us where we need to go. We need tools, different tools. And I know how men like to tinker around and do things when the wife says, honey, do this, do that. Well, we've got some spiritual tools for you to use. In week 4, we're going to activate your spiritual energy. It is in there. And when we talk about spiritual energy, we're not talking about your physical capacity, your mental capacity, or your emotional capacity. We're talking about your divine identity. How do you ignite it and activate it so that it permeates your entire experience? We're going to do that in week 4. In week 5, we're going to support you in building your spiritual muscle or muscles. Spiritual muscles, not going to the gym, but building it inside of you so that you can put the terrorists to rest. Week 6, we want to cultivate courage, courage, courage. I'm not calling anybody a punk. I'm not saying that you haven't done an excellent job, but there is an element of courage that will take you through anything, regardless of where you've been. In week 7, we're going to show you how to take care of your unfinished business from childhood, from relationships, from your own self-abuse. In week 8, we're going to support you in finding freedom and accepting total responsibility, the ability to respond to anything in a way that honors who you are. That's week 8. And then in week 9, we want you to assume your throne as the king, as the leader, as the divine being, the divine masculine demonstration that you were born to be. And what we want you to understand and know is that you don't have to do it all, meaning you don't have to do all that the world has heaped upon you, and you don't have to do it alone. Breathe that in with me. Breathe it in. If you're ready to assume your role, your place, your position as a king. And I'm not talking about a guy who has a crown. We're going to share with you what it means to be a king in your own consciousness. But using the information that I've gathered, both, praises to the ancestors and the universe of life, and what I experienced with my father, my brother, the fathers of my children, and the death of the young man that I spoke to earlier. I've really been in deep contemplation with life, with the universe, with the ancestors, and they've guided me in how to offer this process of up from here. I don't know where you are in your life in this moment, but I know I see a lot of men struggling. So what I've experienced in my own life is that because we were not given the tools, men and women, and because we've adopted a way of living that asks us to be more of who we're not than it asks us to be more of who we are, it causes what I've called arrested development for many men and boys. So this process is designed to fast track your inner development so that you can experience yourself and your life differently. Again, this is what the journey is going to look like. We want you to begin where you are. You don't have to have anything special. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to know how to pray or meditate. You don't have to have a crystal to rub on your head. Begin where you are. Do what you can as you walk through the process. Do what you can and push yourself, to do a little more. Be who you are. We don't want you to show up any way other than who you are. This process is about you stepping out on faith. I know you may have taken classes, or you may have read books, or you may have studied something. This is experiential. So we ask you to step out on faith. And in the whole process, we invite you to expect that God, life, source, creator, the universe will help you. You have to expect that. This is what the process is going to look like. Each week, you will be required to complete a reading from up from here, because that's our foundation. That's our foundation. Everybody's bringing their different experience, but in the Ailua, in the community, we want us all to be working from a solid foundation and bringing in our other experiences as it feels right. You're going to be asked to answer a series of inquiry questions that are designed to help you gain a greater understanding of how you're currently showing up in the world. because how we think we're showing up may not be how we're showing up. But your inquiry, your internal inquiry, is going to give you a new level of awareness. And if you find something that's not working, you're going to have tools that can support you in becoming the man, the leader, the king that you were created to be. Every day, you will be invited to commit to performing a daily spiritual practice every morning and every evening. The practice should take you 5 to 7 minutes. But I want you to understand what it is that you're getting into. And the daily practice will involve a short meditation and a physical practice. It may be something you have to do, something you have to write, suggested actions for you to take throughout the week to fully embody what you're learning so you can start to see significant results in your life right away. You will be able to see and feel the difference right away if you commit and if you do the work. Weekly, we're going to meet as a community online every week to connect with and support each other as we deepen our learning. And I've said this very often, mother is the first teacher. I am Iyanla. That means great mother. I understand that my role is as a teacher, but I also understand that I'm working with men. And there's a place where men have their business to do, and I don't have no business being in their business. So I am running this course with a incredible tribe of men who will be working with you. My portion is the healing portion, the teaching portion. But that deep inner work where you all show your chest hairs and rub your man parts together, I ain't in that. No man parts for me, okay? But the work that we'll do in our weekly live gatherings will set the stage for the deep dive that you'll do on your own and in your clan community. You will be assigned to a clan community that will be run by a man. Yeah, okay. So you'll meet every week. We'll meet as a community once a week for 90 minutes, and then you'll meet in your clan according to how your clan leader sets it up. Now, I will say that there will be a woman available or present. Her job is to hold the space to create the balance. If you don't say anything to her, she won't say anything to you, okay? Because you got to have that somebody holding the high watch. So there will be a woman present in your clan meeting. Okay, I want you to know that. What we're going for is upper limit life skills, higher level life skills. I know you know how to work. I know you know how to do things around the house, take care of your family, go to the gym. Maybe you know how to eat. I don't know. But these are some of the life skills that are required for us now in the 21st century. Let me share with you what they are. How do you recognize and manage difficult emotions? Things like rage, like anger, like shame, like guilt. How do you recognize what it is? Because a lot of men I hear say they're angry, but they're not. When I get down in the weeds with them, it's not anger. It's terror. It's fear. It's unworthiness. It's disappointment. But men have been taught, anger gives you an opportunity to strike out. And so they don't even recognize that what they have identified in anger really may be sadness. But how do you recognize and manage difficult emotions? How do you avoid, eliminate, or deal with stress in a healthy way? We live in a stressful society. Right now, the entire country is being run by one man. Really? What he does or doesn't do, what he says or doesn't say. The whole country is being run by one man, and nobody knows what's happening, and it's very stressful. Add to that the bills, the kids, the dog, and the nagging wife, and you got a hot mess. Okay. We want you to identify and eliminate negative self-talk. Do you know when you engage in negative self-talk in the quickness and the speed of the energy that we're living in right now, that you curse yourself? I hear men curse themselves every single day. We want to give you a life skill. We want to stop that. I want to share with you healthy ways to release anger, shame, self-judgment, ways to overcome addiction to stress. People, you don't have to smoke or drink or smoke happy flowers or drink alcohol. So many people are addicted to stress and struggle and having their own way and unhealthy control of other people and their environment in response to fear and terror. We have an addiction to the struggle, okay? If we ain't struggling, it ain't, we're not doing enough. We're not doing it right, okay? Life skills to help us look at these situations. Life skills to help us manage time effectively and efficiently. I've been saying to my sister friends for a while, I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and the next thing I know is 5:30 in the evening. Somebody has stolen my day. I don't know who it is. They just come in and take my hours and run off with them. Okay. I don't know if you're having the same experience, but there is a way to internally manage time effectively and efficiently. And as you do this work, you'll learn how to do that. How do you avoid and or eliminate toxic relationships with yourself, with other people? And how about a toxic relationship with the God of your understanding? How about that one? How do you avoid them or eliminate them? How do you up level them? It's a skill. Learning how to be vulnerable without being hurt. It's not only possible, my brothers, it's necessary. And also how to set clear and achievable intentions, not goals and objectives, intentions. It's a higher frequency. All right. So that is our vision of what you will get. You're also going to get some power tools. They're spiritual principles, but we call them power tools because as you use them, your personal power unfolds. Awareness, acknowledgement, learning how to tell the absolute rot gut truth about you and what you do and how you feel and who you are. Acknowledgement, acceptance. Rather than trying to fix and change things, how do we just get to the place where we accept what it is? Okay? Accountability, missing in our society. Accountability just gone. People can just do any crazy, ridiculosity, and no one's held accountable because putting people in jail is punishment. It's not accountability. There's a level of accountability that we must have as individuals in order for our life to work right. Choice, that's your power. Brothers, sisters, people, that is your power. You always have choice. And if you've ever said to yourself, I didn't have a choice, you need to go to the mirror and slap the first person that shows up because somebody has talked you out of your power. Commitment, how to do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And if you have to break a commitment, how do you renegotiate it so that you keep your integrity intact? Forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. That's the big one. Forgiveness. And how do you do it in a way that honors your experience? Because you can say no to people's behavior, forgive them, and still not give them access to you going forward. But until you forgive, you're just going to be ducking and dodging bullets. Surrender. Surrender, not give up, but surrender to something greater and grander than you, and then trust that you will be taken care of. Take a breath. These are the things that we're going for in this process. These are the things. We also want to support you in identifying and neutralizing those elements that are probably most responsible for arrested development. Number one is your personal defense mechanisms. Personal defense mechanisms. What do you do and how do you do it when terror comes up in your life? Your personal victim statements. There are no victims. All things are lessons that God would have us learn. Everything you've experienced, I don't care how awful, how horrible, how terrible it was with your mother, your father, your wife, white people, black people, straight people, dead people, whoever it is, everything is a lesson. And if you don't get the lesson, you'll make yourself a victim. Your personal excuses and justifiers, the things that we say, the things that we tell ourselves that keep us from stepping fully into our power, into our truth, into our vision, into our dream. Your personal ego saboteurs. Never underestimate the ruthlessness of the ego. It is a vicious, diabolical thing. Now, I'm not talking about the ego that makes you comb your hair and brush your teeth. I'm talking about the negative ego that wants you to believe, A, that you're separate from God, B, that you're unworthy of love, and C, that you can't have what you want. Just those three things. We're also going to help you get clear about your values. What do you value? Not what do you want, what do you like, but what do you value? Because once you get your value and your attention, your intention aligned, your life is going to take off. We're going to support you in doing that in the 9 weeks of Up From Here. What we're going to do and how we're going to do that is we're going to look at the 10 stages of development in a masculine consciousness, or what we're calling a man's soul. This is going on in your soul, whether you are black or white or straight or gay or poor or rich, whether you've been to jail or you grew up in the church, it doesn't matter. The challenge is that sometimes these are natural organic stages and they get interrupted and we can get stuck. Not we, you. I get stuck in my own. Women have their own. These are for men, okay? If you get stuck in one of these stages of development, you have arrested development. And look at the child. That's where trust and innocence are born. That's where they live. And if your childhood has been interrupted or prematurely taken away from you, it may be some issues around trust and innocence. And I don't mean innocence that you didn't do something, innocence that gives rise to guilt in the spirit. The boy, this is where you learn your sense of esteem, value, and worth, and the way that you were encouraged in your imagination, the way your curiosity was addressed, the way you were allowed to play and how you played. Sometimes if that boy is interrupted, a man can find himself stuck with low self-esteem, limited value, and even less worth. Youth, that 13 to or 11 to 14, that's where transformation, creativity, and receptivity, that's where they're born. And it's then that you learn how to form relationships and explore who you are so that you can discover what it is that you want to be. If that gets interrupted, creativity can be stifled, receptivity can be stifled, and transformation is arrested. We're going to look at that to make sure that there may be a piece of you, parts of you that are stuck. We're going to look at the prince. There's a prince in every man. And that prince is about independence. He's about stamina. He's about confidence. And it's about clarity on who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. It's not just about sitting on the throne. All of these things, we are looking at them from a spiritual perspective, not from the traditional way that they are defined in the world. Every man, whether you actually get married or have children, you have the husband-father aspect in your consciousness. That aspect is about commitment. It's about clarity. It's about cooperation. That husband-father, that's the provider. That's the rock on which the family and the community stands and grows. And for some of us, either that is distorted or it never got fully developed. Let me not stop saying us, men, okay? Women have their own issues. Trust me, we have ours. Then there's that protector warrior. That's the one that offers guidance. That's the one that stands with honor. That's the one that grows and learns from experience rather than getting stuck in the trauma. The protector warrior, that's the waymaker, the pathfinder. That is the warrior, the one who fights for the good of the nation, the good of the whole, does battle. The protector warrior is the guide. And for so many men, that part never developed. They knew how to take care of their little sister or their little brother, but they weren't given the skills, the tools, and the principles of being a warrior. We're going to take a look at that. The leader, the visionary, the authority, the one who serves. When we talk about leader, we're not talking about you running for political office, although that's possible. We're talking about the visionary for the community, for the family, for the world. We're talking about the peacemaker and the one who inspires and ignites others to move. It's in there. Every man is born with leadership capacity. Whether it grows or develops, that's up to how he lives. Every man has a sage or a priest within, the part of you that's always seeking a deeper, more intimate relationship with the God of your understanding. And if you don't have that, then you got a problem. The sage, the priest, that's where your wisdom, your discernment, that's your truth seeker. He's a wise man. He's a storyteller. He's a keeper of the teachers and a keeper and teacher of sacred knowledge and cultural knowledge. In this society, so many men have been stripped of their cultural connection to their DNA. And that priest hasn't developed. Then you have your king. The king who has the power to resolve conflicts. The king who sets policy. The king who extends mercy and forgiveness. That mercy and forgiveness is required for internal and external healing, internal and external recovery. You know, many of you may not know that I was once a criminal defense attorney in Philadelphia. And I used to go in and out of the jails. And it would break my heart, which is why I left law, practicing law. I don't know why I didn't go into civil law. But anyway, it used to break my heart because I saw so many powerful, gifted brothers, men who just didn't have the tools and who were being warehoused and punished as opposed to true rehabilitation. So many kings are incarcerated. So many. We're going to look at that king. And then finally, the elder. This is the part of us, the wise part of us that is always grateful, that finds fulfillment, that practices acceptance, and learns how to live slowly and appreciate the sweet joys of life. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 50 or 70. That elder is in there growing and developing. We want to introduce you to him so that you can give him the space that he needs to grow. We're also going to look at some common personality and spiritual archetypes. Now, clutch your pearls, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you'll clutch, but clutch it. The trickster. So many of our men and boys are conditioned to play this role. We'll talk about what it is and how it may show up in your life. The lover, the one who's just allows physical and physicality and or the quest for love and acceptance to run and dominate their life. The warrior. These are none of these aspects, none of the archetypes or the personalities are bad in and of themselves. But if they become overblown, if they become hyperactive, then you may have some issues. When I talk to you about if this is present, how do you neutralize it? How do you bring it more into balance? That's the purpose of looking at these archetypes. The ruler, the judge. The ruler and the judge, the one who, do what I say and that's it. Don't ask no questions. Just I'm ruling. That may need to be brought into balance. The rebel, the one who just ain't going to do it the way they say do it, and in the process just makes all kind of mess. The punisher, That one who's going to punish you because they're punishing themselves and because they've been punished. hmm The priest, you know, the priest and the sage can also become hyper vigilant and then just becomes inflexible. Then you got the wizard. We're going to talk about what the wizard is and how the wizard operates. You've got the rescuer and the fixer. Some my experience has been there are men who go around looking for women to fix or people to fix or things to fix, and that gives them value and worth. We're going to look at that. Again, none of these are inherently bad or wrong, but if they're overactive, it can be a problem in your development. We'll look at the mama's boy, and not in the traditional sense. None of these things are we looking at in the traditional sense. We're looking at them from a spiritual perspective. And we're going to look at the pimp, the one who uses everybody else to get what he needs for himself. Common archetypes. I want you to identify with your inner work, that aspect of yourself. See if it's hyperactive, overactive, and then what you need to do to bring it into balance. Yeah? It's time to go all in, brothers. Time to go all in. I hear a lot of men complaining about women, about life, about whoever. That means there's an absence of leadership. Blaming is an absence of leadership. Judgment of yourself or others, what you've done, what they haven't done. It's an absence of leadership. Criticism is an absence of leadership. Avoidance of people, problems, situation. It's an absence of leadership. Blaming somebody else, but my wife is, my partner is, my lover is. It's an absence of leadership. Okay? It's time to go all in because you are not who you used to be, not who you were a week ago. You know that. You know that you're not who you used to be. So many brothers have survived the experience of the vacation retreat center, AKA prison, jail. They've been on jobs for years that they don't like or aren't honored. You know you're not who you used to be, but you don't operate that way. Every single move you make today is based on your beliefs about the last one you made. You think historical evidence or the things that you've tried is who you are. It's the thing that determines your future is your past, but how you look at it. You may just be hanging around with the wrong people, inside and outside. You may be hanging around with your pimp or your trickster or your wizard. You may be hanging out with that in your consciousness, and it leads to arrested development. So it's time to go all in. We just finished 5 weeks of doing The Invisible Ache, a wonderful book written by Courtney B. Vance and Dr. Robin L. Smith. We talked about in there the things that make me want to holler. The things that make me want to holler, both a good holler and a not so good holler. So it's time to go all in and commit to yourself. That's what women did. We started doing it 20 years ago. And in some ways, we've kind of left you all behind because we've been doing the self-work, the inner work. So let me talk to you about what this is going to cost you. Originally, we wanted to do this as a 9-week virtual workshop, which we were going to do, followed by a 4-day in person. And we did all the costs and everything, and what it was costing us to do it made it prohibitable to most people. So we took the 4 days out and looked at what can we do this for with the clan leaders, with everything that needed to be done. So the 9 weeks, what we've gotten it down to is about a $1,500 value, which is about $171.88 a week. If you're in therapy, you're paying, that's a therapy visit, okay? And what you get for that is 3 hours with me and your clan leader. 90 minutes in the community, 90 minutes with your clan leader. You get a workbook. You don't have to worry about anything. The workbook is online. You can go in and use it. You get a series of recorded meditations that you can use, that you can carry. You get a series of prayers. You get your lessons. You get your worksheets. And you get the video replay of all the live sessions. That's about a $1,500 value, meaning what it costs us to offer it to you at that. But what we want to do is this. Because some brothers made the commitment at the cost we were charging. And if you have paid in full, you will get the refund. If you want to continue, your price will be $775. If you register within the next 72 hours, meaning between tonight and midnight on Monday, your financial commitment for the full 9 weeks. We're going to do the 9 weeks now. We're going to do a series of smaller things throughout the year. And next year, this time, we're going to do the male rites of passage, which so many men need and haven't done. So the financial commitment now is $775, which is about $86.11 a week. That's what it looks like. Okay. After tonight, after Monday, the commitment will be $850 for the 9 weeks. And that's about $94.44 a week. I break it down like that for men. Women, you don't have to take them there. They lay that credit card down and they're happy. But man, I know you paying the mortgage or you're paying the car note. I want you to understand what it does. And ask yourself, am I worth it? Am I worth it? Is there enough space in my life for me to do this for me? All right. But before you sign up, I want to get in your face for a moment, and then I'm going to take questions. Let me get in your. Well, give me that permission. Before you sign up, I want to invite you to consider this. Because sometimes the greatest adventures in life take place externally. It can involve travel or physical location or some pleasurable thing. Then there are those times when adventure is an internal process because there's a call. There's a call. And in either case, whether it's outside or inside, something happens that kind of catapults you into or out of what's normal. Your normal, familiar daily existence. Even if you go on vacation, you have a different experience than you do. It might just be a general sense of unfulfillment or terror or confusion or exhaustion that's about to catapult you. You may just know, I want something more, something new. Even if you don't know what it is, something is calling you higher. Adventure comes when circumstances pressure us to decide if we want to continue living life as we're living it, or if we're really ready to do something different, to experience something different, even if we're not really sure what that is. Now, you may initially refuse the call by telling yourself, "Oh, I can't afford it. I don't have it. I don't want to do it. It sounds like too much. I don't understand." And particularly if you're a control freak, you're not going to be able to be in control of this. I want to tell you a story. I have a friend right now who's going through a process of training, a training process to become an energy healer. And he grew up in the church and loves the Lord, as they say, but is really understanding that that's not enough. So through a series of events, got the call to enter this energy medicine process and has been doing that. And in the back of the mind, the trickster, in the back of the mind, the The youth who wants to please everybody is constantly whispering, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But in the heart, the priest, the wise man, the sage, is the husband, the father is saying, this is exactly what you come here to be. All right. So he called me today in total breakdown. I'm the auntie. You can come to auntie crying, dribbling, slobbering, drunk, high. It don't matter. Okay. Totally freaked out. He went to the store, and a woman in the store pushed him and said that he had jumped in front of her. And he didn't. He hadn't. So he said, oh, no, I'm sorry, and backed up, let the woman go get her groceries. Throughout the whole time, she's looking at him, hissing and stuff. And he was, just trying to stay calm. Gets outside, and the woman is in the parking lot. Okay. And looks at him and says, choose your side. Sinner, sinner, it's all over you. Choose your side. You're sinning, you're sinning. Freaked him out. Freaked him out. Thank God he called me. And he said, is that a sign that I'm doing the wrong thing? This woman don't know me. Why was she in the supermarket parking lot calling me a sinner? I said, to show you where you still are wounded, to show you the depth of the terror you have within you for following your heart, following your intuitive sense, as opposed to doing what you think you're supposed to do. God bless her. Because anytime you declare yourself to be a thing, everything unlike it is going to show up. So when you declare to yourself that I'm going up from here, everything that could possibly hold you down is going to show up. When you declare to yourself, I'm ready to heal and grow and change, everything is going to show up. I want you to know that before you send me one single penny. All right. Before you get on your dashboard, before you get your books, before you do anything, I want you to know that. All right. So he said to me, but what if this is wrong? I said, beloved, there is no spot where God is not. No spot. You can't say you come out of the church, you know God, you love God, you call God sovereign, and think that you could do something that God doesn't know about. And even if what you're doing is wrong, you're still going to meet a forgiving God. That's what's going to happen. As you begin to really turn your attention on yourself, focus your energy on yourself, begin to dismantle the terror. Trust me when I tell you, you will be challenged and you have the courage to walk through. So I want you to know that the call is not going to go away. It's not, but it's going to call you to take it seriously. So before you sign up, before you spend one dime, I encourage you to set a clear intention for yourself. What is it that you desire to know, to heal, to experience? What is it? Know that, because that and the vision of that is what's going to pull you forward. It's what's going to pull you forward. Okay. I just wanted to tell you that little story. And so that you know, like I said, if you sign up between now and Monday, $775, after Monday, because I know mortgage time is coming, car payment time, you may need a little more time. We are starting on June 23rd, I believe. My team will tell me if I'm giving you the wrong date, because I frequently do that. Let me get my little calendar out and make sure that I'm telling you the right time. June 22nd, Saturday, June 22nd. Our weekly meetings will be community meeting. The IALU will be Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, or daylight saving times, or whatever it is. 9:30 to 11 every Saturday. Your clan meeting will be determined by your clan leader. That's when the brothers come together in the smaller group, yeah, to do conversation, homework review, answer questions, share your story, whatever it is that y'all will do. I won't be there, so I don't know your business. Time to go all in. Again, it's a 9-week healing safe space for men to examine, explore, investigate their invisible ache, their secret fears, their personality archetype, their core beliefs, so that you get an opportunity to redefine yourselves as leaders and kings and men based on who you are. But it means you got to go all in. I want to introduce you to some of the men who will be working with us. So I don't know if they're in the queue so that I can call them up. Some of you know Coach Robert, um, Dr. Jerome, uh, Bear, our resident shaman, Grandpa Bear, Reverend Tony Farmer. We have some other brothers who are joining the clan this time. But if they're in the queue and they have something to say, um, pull them up. Let me just also let you know it's a support mechanism for both Up From Here and for those who may not be able to do it this go round. We're going to continue the book club that we started with The Invisible Ache. Starting on, let me get my little calendar so that I tell the truth. Um, June the 13th, June 13th, the Man Cave Book Club is going to begin the weekly meeting. Those who did The Invisible Ache, it's the same principle, same process, a safe space on Zoom. You can be on camera or not, you can share. But the book we're going to begin with is Love Without Conditions. Love Without Conditions. And in our same way that we did The Invisible Ache, the book club will be from 7:30 to 9 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday evenings. We always begin with a 30-minute musical meditation where you can just come and unwind and listen. And the subscription cost for the book club, which does not include the book, is $53 a month. Now, it's not per book, it's per month. Some books you will get through in 4 weeks, some 6 weeks. But we're starting with Love Without Conditions because that just feels like the right place to start. How do we love? And we're calling it the Man Cave Book Club. So for those who can't make Up From Here this time, or those who are doing Up From Here and also want some deeper interaction with brothers, you can sign up at iyanla.com for the Man Cave Book Club. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me see. I think that's it. Yep. So if you have an inquiry, a question that you'd like me to consider, if you put it in the chat, we'll put it up on the screen. Are we able to pay weekly or all at once? For which one? The book club, you pay monthly. The Up From Here, you can't pay weekly. We can't set it up like that. It just doesn't work. I believe there's a deposit you can make, and then there's other payments. I'm not really sure about that, but I think there are. Dr. Jerome, I see you. Can I bring you up to speak to the brothers and say, hey, just shake your head, yes or no? I didn't know if you had your teeth in and your bra on. Oh, no, not your bra. That's ladies.
Neither one of those. Thanks. Greetings, Queen.
Yes,
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Jerome does some incredible work with everyone, really. He is, tell him what you do, Dr. Jerome, because I'll be talking forever.
yes. Give thanks, Queen. So yes, I work with men coming out of incarceration, going through this male perpetrator domestic violence season, as well as substance abuse and treatment. Also, I work with just self-empowerment for fathers and men. And so do a lot of work with men. And, this is so timely. I'm so excited because this is the work I've been doing since, about 15 years. And I tell you that with the right information, with the right leadership, with the right platform to where they can be judged and just can be themselves, change happens.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. Change happens. And so, there's a myth about men who are domestic violence perpetrators that they can't change.
Yes.
And I'm here to tell you that men do change.
Yes.
Whether it's from 18 to 65, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of them having a platform to be honest, to be true to themselves, to tell the truth. As we said, the truth will set you free. And I'm a witness to that. And so I'm just very excited about this process, this possibility, and that you with your voice shifting to the men. I am so happy when we talked earlier about you a little time with your women. I got it, but
40
it's just
years
time.
with the women.
Yeah. But it's the yin and the yang, to find balance. And one of the things I love to talk about is speaking from, am I speaking from my head or my heart?
Yeah.
And it's requirement of to do both, but to find balance in that intersection between my heart to my head. And we as men, we're always at the head. We're always coming from here and not willing to express our true feeling because we hurt, we get sad, we get frustrated, but the world tells us that we got to suck it up and you better not cry. Just get over it. And I'm saying that that's the problem. We've been get over it too much for too long, and not being able to really speak from the heart, learning how to speak from the heart to bring balance to that head, so I'm looking forward to getting into this with the clan members and talk about that divine masculine, that inner man, that one that's just been waiting, has been suppressed by society and also by our culture, truth be told, we have cycles and cycles of this misinformation that's been given and drilled to us.
And like I said, my heart has been with women, still is with women for the past 40 years, but also the misinformation that we've been given by our mothers. Men are given some really distorted, dysfunctional information by their mothers because mothers are the first teachers, and very often mothers are hurt or angry or misinformed. Not blaming, because blame is not, when you're blaming, you're not in leadership. So, and I just hope that men will give themselves permission to look at some of the distortions they may have received from their mother and forgive, because she's your heart, whether you're in good relationship with her or not. But, mama ain't right all the time.
But it's the first woman we experience. It's the first woman that we experience, and so that has an impact, absolutely. So knowing that, learning how to release and let go and forgive that experience, because they just give us what they had, that's all, and so they, back in those days, they didn't have this platform, they didn't have a young to speak to, they didn't have
I'm looking I'm still looking forward.
Been such so we're here to set the record straight that you don't have to have the idea that I'm crazy in order to say that I'm mentally disturbed or challenged. There's internal traumas that happen in all of our lives that we haven't defined that way because our community was afraid to do that.
Yes.
And so now I believe we're getting better. And, in my practice, I find it with male and women, men and women, that to get to that point to, okay, you know what? Yes, I do have these issues. And I didn't realize that it was considered to be mental health.
Yeah.
And so we remove the stigma. We remove the stigma from that language. And I think that helps us a lot to have a different perspective from that, and to change our perceptions of these things.
Yeah. Well, if your life is not looking exactly like you want it to do, if it isn't mental health, it's emotional health, it's some kind of health. And mental health is simply health. Looking so forward to taking this journey with you, Dr. Jerome. And
Yes,
I
I
know
as well.
I am excited to have you. So I don't know which clan you'll be in, but they'll meet you soon enough. Yeah.
Well, just whatever clan it is, just let them know that I say this: game recognized game. So we're not going to be playing games. We're going to be serious and go straight to the heart. All right. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Game
All right.
recognized game. I love it. I love it. I know Coach Ron is out there somewhere. I don't know if we can find him or if we can bring him up. I know Grandpa Bear is out there. So questions, comments, questions, suggestions, recommendations. If you have any, I did say that the base price will be $775 for the 9 weeks. I know you can pay a deposit, and then I don't know what the other payment plans are, but you can go to iyanla.com and look all of that up. But please don't let money be the thing. Look, Father's Day is coming up, okay? Tell the women in your life to make a contribution to this, all right? Father's Day is coming up. Birthdays are coming up. Hell, Christmas is coming. Get an early Christmas present. And again, I say that because, yes, it is by Paul Ferrini. The book club book is by Paul Ferrini, Love Without Conditions, which is going to turn your world upside down. I love that book. I love it, love it, love it. So, and we're also, for young men, 18, 19, 20, who may be in school, who may be, not working yet. We really want to, we're looking for ways to sponsor young men. We'll keep you updated. It's not a lot of time, but we will keep you updated in the event some of those sponsorships come through. We'll let you know about that. Yes, boys don't cry, so now the wife has to help redirect them to have feelings to cry. Okay. All right. Okay, Miss Ladies, y'all need to hush. The ladies are all up in the chat. Get out the chat, let the men talk. Okay. But I don't see any questions coming through. So I guess you have everything you need. Yeah. I was trying to see if I could get, oh, there he is. There he is. How you doing?
I am experiencing joy. I mean, I just think listening to the experiences you shared, even hearing you say the man cave, of course I'm a part of it, but it just feels so right. And for there to be so many rich tools that brothers from all backgrounds can tap into, for me is exciting. It's exciting as a brother tapping into tools. It's exciting as a father, right? Like, it's just exciting. So here's what I would offer.
Wait, hold on one second. Hold on one second, because I don't want these questions to be lost in the thread. So is the only thing to get is the Up From Here book for people who are considering. You will have a list, you will have a supply list on your dashboard. The first thing you need to get is the book. But when you get ready to do, you'll have a supply list. There's not a lot of things. You may also want to get a journal. But other than that, everything is provided. The sessions, you meet once a week on Saturday as a broad community, every Saturday for 9 weeks from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you'll meet with your clan. That means you're with your clan leader. And those are smaller groups where the connection, the communication can be a little more intimate. Okay. I didn't want those questions to get away with Robert. So go ahead.
Interrupt all the time. I was listening, and what I thought about was in '76, I jumped on a ride with my mom at Six Flags in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's the old parachute one. Took us up 250 feet and then dropped us down. And I got off the ride, turned around. The short version of this was, I remember looking at my mother thinking, why is she taking so long to get off the ride? Because I didn't realize the gate had opened. And she held the open gate and then her arm across me during that 250-foot drop. No clue, because I'm screaming, saying, yay, yay, yay. Fast forward to 2007, I'm at Six Flags in Maryland. And I'm looking at the Superman. It has a 91-degree bend. That means that thing just turns in 206-foot drop, and I kept looking at it going, I want to ride it. It's the little kid in me, the same little kid that was running around the amusement park at Six Flags until I internalized my mother's stuff, which had me skip going to amusement parks between 1976 and 2006. I jump on a bunch of different rides. I keep looking at the Superman, and I'm going, hold up, is that ego saying, you got to get on to prove something? I was like, no, it's my little kid, but I'm not ready. And I'm still telling my friends, y'all get on it. One day I'm going to get on. I finally get on that ride, but I get on because I wanted to follow the inner voice. I wanted to follow the inner voice that said, let's go play. I wanted to follow the inner voice that I knew I had always trusted. And that inner child inner voice is the innocent voice that God speaks through in my experience. So my invitation is for anybody that is contemplating, hey, do I want to do this? Do I want to do the book club? Do I want to do both? Listen to the inner voice and sit with it and allow it to call you if you're feeling unclear. What I knew about looking at the ride was there wasn't any fear when I said I plan on riding it. I just knew I wasn't ready to surrender. To surrender. I didn't want to get on the ride out of ego. I didn't want to get on the ride to prove something. I wanted to get on the ride to freaking scream and feel that thing and all that it had to offer. Got on it, repeatedly got on it, and enjoyed it every single time because the intention, without using fancy language, was to get on when I knew the inner child and the adult, the one that paid for the ticket in the VIP parking so I could be closer to the gate, when those two were in alignment, it was like eating cotton candy and the hot dog. So my invitation, brothers, don't think this through. Feel it through.
Right.
Get clear on the part of you that goes, oh, I'm scared of it, and just go, congratulations. It is absolutely okay and permissible to acknowledge that you feel scared. Then embrace the fear. And what do we mean by embrace? Just go, hey, I still plan on being in the club. I still plan on going up from here. And when the voice is silenced, the only other voice you'll hear will be that divine voice that will have you get in line, pay for the ticket, enjoy standing in line, get in the front car or the back car metaphorically, and then scream your way and cheer your own way through. Welcome to Father's Day. Like Ia said, you don't need to be a father like I am, but every single one of us is a father to our inner child. We got to take that child out for Father's Day. Give this as a gift to you because your inner child and your adult self have aligned. They'll carry you through the 9 weeks and beyond. I'm looking forward to this. Let's play.
Okay. Yeah, I used to be a roller coaster fanatic.
Oh, yeah.
If something happened with age, the dip no more. It's very disappointing. I went to Vegas and I went on the little roller coaster, New York.
Yes, to New York, yes.
And I said, I don't ever have to have this experience ever.
Well, I went further. I went from 206-foot drop to the tallest one called King de Con. I don't know what it is with me and Six Flags in New Jersey. You can put the entire Eiffel Tower under it. It takes off at 123 miles per hour, lasts 51 seconds. And people from NASA that have ridden it said it has the exact same pull as the space shuttle when it takes off. It goes up 45 stories. We can talk about that in the clan meeting, but I rode that, still love it. And to this day, I ride roller coasters with an entirely different intent.
I love them. I do love them.
Up from here, right?
Yeah, up from here. Thank you, Coach Robert.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So once again, just to kind of bring you in, we begin on Saturday, June 22nd. That'll be a community-wide meeting where everyone will be on. Once you sign up, once you register, you get access to your dashboard. You'll be sent information about how to sign in and how to get access to your dashboard. And you'll have assignments. Your assignments will start within 3 days of you signing up. Okay, things that you have to do, things that you will have to have in order to work through the process over the course of the 9 weeks. If you know you're going to sign up, you can go ahead and get your book. We have a link, but it's also on Amazon. You can get the hardcover or the paperback. What else? Let me see what else is in this dashboard that I'm looking at. How are you doing? Please take care of yourself. I'm doing great. Just register for the Man Cave. It's a gift to me and Good. Archie, I thought you were doing the workshop. You going on over to the man cave. All right. Okay. What else? I think that's it. Yanfe, thank you for putting everything in. How do I connect with Miss Van Zandt? Would like to speak to her about the possible. You can contact us at iyanla.com. Iyanla@iyanla.com. That's real simple. I love when people say, I've been trying to get in touch with you. How? Where? Oh, good for you, Shedrick. Shedrick Johnson is all in. All right, Cedric. Good. Up from here will be hosted on Zoom. It will be so that you can see now you're a clan leader and may do Google or something else, but it will be interactive. Where's the dashboard? You don't get the dashboard until you register, and you'll have access to it. Okay. So the first class is 622. Yes. Hi, Yanla. Hi, Clarence Underwood. It's such an honor to see you too. All right. Okay. How often are the Conrad? You have not been listening. How often are the sessions? What did I say? Every Saturday is a 90-minute session, and then during the week you'll have a session with your clan member. With your clan leader. And they'll work that out in terms of your days and your times or whatever. But the community where we come together to do the main teaching and the main healing work. I do your healing work and the main teaching coming from up from here. Your clan leader does your interpersonal conversation and work. That will happen once during the week. My session, the community session is 90 minutes, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday, starting June 22nd. Is the only additional thing we need the book? That's what I know right now. Okay, I don't see any other questions. What? Jacole Minor Sr. That's her past. She's into fixing everyone. Can't imagine who that would be. I know you're not talking to me. You know what? I want to just encourage us, particularly on this full moon. Can you do a scholarship for the 9-week course? We're trying to do that. I personally can't do it because I got to pay the staff to man the course. So I can't offer a scholarship to the students and pay the staff. So I won't be doing that. Okay. Particularly on this full moon, we got to start being more careful about what we say and what we put out in the universe. I've been saying it and teaching it for years, but everything that comes into your mind, you don't have to give 1,000,000 watts of power on the social media. Some things just keep to yourself. Yeah. And talking about people and criticizing and judging. I'm not just talking about here with me. I'm talking about everywhere. Why? It's coming back. It's going to come back. That's the time we're living in. It's going to come back around. So you just want to be careful. Yes. Love Without Conditions by Paul Ferrini. That's the Man Cave book. Are we able to pay weekly? I think I did that. No. When I turned my attention to the call, everything unlike it got mad. Yep. Yep. Everything unlike it. How do I help my brother deal with my mother telling my brother who his dad is? Why is that your business? That's none of your business. Get out of that, Diva Darkness. Why is that your business? That's your brother's business. Did he ask you to ask his mother to tell him who his father is? That's his business. And even if he asked you, you need to say, that's not for me to do. I'll pray you through it. How about that? Hi, beautiful. I'm sorry you were late. Thank you for sharing the syllabus. Okay, good. Okay. I think that's it. How wonderful. We didn't even have to do the whole 90 minutes. So again, up from here, 9-week process, beginning June 22nd, 2 meetings a week, one in community on Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then your clan meeting, you'll be assigned to a clan as you sign up. You'll also be assigned a principle that you will be supported to embody and embrace. Man Cave Book Club starts, let me see if I can get this up here. Man Cave Book Club starts on Thursday, June 13th from 7:30 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Your first book is Love Without Conditions by Paul Farini. I love this book. Here I can quote it. Page 66. Every nail you hammer in your brother's hand keeps you on the cross. Ow! The other one I truly love is when he says in there that 99% of what you see in the world is a function of what's already present in your mind. And here's the one that's going to have you clutching your pearls. And when the Christ says, God really don't care what you call him. His biggest concern is that you do call. Okay. And all of the books that we will be doing in the book club or that will be done, they're nonfiction books. They're nonfictions that will support growing community, personal development, and spiritual development. Okay, they're nonfiction. They're not all, summer stories. If you paid in full, that means you paid for the in-person. We're going to refund you. We will get in touch with you. We know who you are. If we paid the original price, we're going to give you your money back. Contact it via email. We just really got the prayer and the go ahead to do it this way, but you'll get your money back. If you want to do the 9 weeks, you do pay the $775. If you don't want to do anything, we'll refund you all your money. But we'll be in touch with you to do that. Okay. All righty. How is somebody tell me something they know now that they didn't know when they signed on today? Put it in the chat for me. Tell me something that you know now. Maybe something you heard, something you realized, something you that came forward for you. Tell me something you know now that you didn't know when you signed on this evening, even if it's about Up From Here. Did you know that you could have a trickster or a pimp or a wizard? Did you know that not 10 stages of development of the soul? I want to be a man, I think. Oh, no, stop it. See the ladies, hush y'all. This is my next time. Good. Good for you, Howard. Good for you, Howard. Good, good, good. Howard Lovely. What a beautiful name. How lovely is that? All right. Thank you, Dr. Jerome. Thank you, Mother's Mother from Hurt Sometimes. Yeah, it's not personal. That's right. Perfect. But doesn't mean that you don't get hurt. And you got to honor your hurt. Every pain needs a witness. You're not talking about your mother. You're talking about your pain. Having more compassion, release and let go. Good. Blame is a lack of leadership. Good. Excellent. I didn't realize my development was arrested. Me either. It's shocking. When you do realize it. It's absolutely shocking. Parents don't love all their kids the same. No, they don't. They absolutely don't. Acknowledge, accept, and let go. Good. Up from here. Okay. So I hope to see some of you on the 22nd of June or in the man cave on the 13th. Ladies, the waist bead workshop is coming up so that we can get grounded and centered in another way. Gentlemen, maybe that's a gift you want to give your wife, your daughter, your girlfriend. Also, you will be able to watch the replay of this. It'll be up probably within the next 24 hours. So if you came in late and you missed something, or you have someone that you want to share it with, you'll be able to do that. Again, Sacred Dignity Waist Bead Workshop, making waist beads with gemstones from a cultural and spiritual perspective, not just to have your belly hanging out showing your pretty beads. And also the gift shop with free Kinlo, developing your spiritual gift, men and women, developing your spiritual gift. It's a 6-week course, 12 hours of instruction, where free is going to take you into the process of getting clear about what your spiritual gift is. Is it vision? Is it clairaudience? Is it clairsentience? Is it writing? Is it channeling? This is where we are. And we've got to get these things together. Okay? I will see you very, very soon. Just in case nobody's told you that they love you today, let me tell you that I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't want anything from you in return. Bye.